Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Well, the mighty carrier, the Midway, in the San Diego Harbor on this Military Sunday in San Diego as the Padres honor the U.S. Army. And many of those in uniform today to come and enjoy a game of baseball on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. As we welcome you to Petco Park in downtown San Diego, final game of the interleague schedule as the Seattle Mariners are here against the San Diego Padres. And good afternoon, everyone, and a happy Sunday to each and all of you. Mark Grant with Dick Enberg. We salute the military again, as always. Padres do that best of all in the major leagues. And it's a game that has some significance. The Padres are 7-7 in interleague play. They like to post a winning record. They've only done that twice in their history, and can they beat the Mariners?
Well, it's going to hinge on some good pitching today because Hector Noesi and Edinson Volquez are matching up against each other. And you go back to Noesi, 7 innings, 5 hits, only 1 earned run. That was back on June 13th in Seattle against the Padres. The one thing about Noesi, though, the walks are up. It's been an up and down year as far as the walks are concerned, and he has trouble putting hitters away.
Noesi lost that game 1-0 on the home run by Yonder Alonso, who is not in the starting lineup today. Edinson Volquez had a good win up in Seattle.
Yeah, and hopefully today in the day game here at Petco Park, Edinson Volquez could be on his A game. Well, we talked about the walks for Noesi. If Edinson Volquez could limit the walks, he should do just fine. In fact, I was even thinking, you know when you cross the street corner it says walk, don't walk? I think we should get a don't walk sign and put it in Edinson Volquez's locker, because when he's on getting ahead, the hitters will swing at that changeup. They will swing at that curveball in the dirt. It's all about getting ahead for Edinson Volquez.
Yeah, one of those big red hands that's right. Not blinking anymore. You
don't walk.
Just stop right there. Well, Volquez is 2-0 against Seattle. Can he continue his winning ways? The interleague title for the Padres on the line. Diego, a cloud of sorrow, as this morning we learned that number 48 Daryl Ackerfelds has succumbed to pancreatic cancer. A bold fight by Ackerfelds. He was the longest tenured of the Padre coaching staff, his 11th year. In charge of the bullpen. You know, for those guys out there, they come to assist, to relieve, to support. And that's what number 48 Ackerfelds was all about. He'll be deeply missed by everyone who knew the big guy, a former Arkansas Razorback linebacker. And there's a great deal of sadness in that bullpen today. Players taking his jersey out so that his presence will be felt, as it has been even in his absence. Let's check the lineups today. First for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Ichiro, 5 hits in 2 games, followed by Jaso, who will hit second and catch. Casper Wells, Justin Smoke bats cleanup. Michael Saunders, big home run last night. Dustin Ackley at second. Sean Figgins makes his first start of this series. He'll be at third. Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, and Hector Noesi. He is 0 for 2 hitting, and he is 2 for 8 pitching. On the mound for the Padres, Edinson Volquez making his 16th start of the season. He's 2-0 against the Mariners in his career, a 3.42 ERA, and was the winner up in Seattle a couple of weeks ago when he went almost 7 full innings, allowed only 1 run and 4 hits, and a 7-3 Padre win.
Well, trying to seal the deal on the series here on this Sunday afternoon. One thing for sure, the Mariners have scored 33 runs their last 5 games, and Edinson Volquez, we talked about it. Limit the walks, go right after these Mariner hitters. Couldn't ask for a better day.
Ichiro will lead it off. Just an incredible hitting machine. His average below what it has been throughout his 10-year All-Star career with Seattle, but inching up toward that 300 mark, and it just figures that by season's end he'll be near 200 hits and hitting 300 or better. We're underway. And a fastball for a strike from Volquez. Mark Carlson calling the balls and strikes. Hernandez at first, Conroy at second, and Hickox at third. Swing and a miss, 0-2. That's the curveball.
Well, he's got it working right out of the chute. Second pitch of the ball game.
81 hits leading the Mariners. Ichiro, he's 4-14 in his career against Volquez, and takes that one in the dirt. Well, it's a Chamber of Commerce Sunday afternoon, and a perfect day for baseball here in San Diego, with a temperature just above 70 degrees and not a cloud to be found. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one sailing a changeup way outside.
Yeah, that's the kind of day it is today. You need that big brim to protect yourself from the UVs. Wear that sunscreen. Outfielders better have the glasses on today.
Yeah, that hat was big enough you could put your scorebook on top of it if you're sitting behind him. Way outside again. A jaunty look there. Full count. Last thing Volquez wants to do, start the game with a walk. Bad omen. Ichiro, a shot at Venable. Had to move only a couple of steps. A bullet out to right. Here is the Padre defense today. In the outfield, Denorfia in left, Maben in center, and Venable in right. Headley and Cabrera on the left side of the infield, with Amarista at second, and Katse making his first Padre start at first base. John Baker behind the plate, and Volquez on the mound. Katse has started 14 other games, all in the outfield, and replaces Alonso, who has an ouchie knee. Nothing serious. And long high drive, way foul. That's a Roger Repo's foul.
Strike 1.
Jaso.
Hey, how about Mark Katse having to reach into his bag of equipment and
grab onto the first baseman's glove. That's the great thing about baseball, Dick, isn't it? I mean, football linemen, they play the line. Running backs are running backs. Quarterbacks, quarterbacks. Baseball, you can plug them in anywhere. If you're a halfway decent athlete, play the outfield, you can play the infield. That's the beauty of this game.
It's a great position for a space. That was other than pitching, my favorite spot. You're not taking all those foul tips that a catcher has to deal with, and yet you're in more plays than any of the rest because you're guarding that first sack.
Yep.
2 balls and a strike. It figures that Kotze will get a test right off the bat in this first inning. The ball will find you.
And with Volquez on the mound, he's got that big curveball and a left-handed hitter. Mark Kotze and Alexi Amarista are going to be busy on that right side if they put that curveball in play.
3-ball count again. And he walks him. Not a good start in terms of his command. Volquez went to 3 balls on Ichiro, 3-2, and now he walks Jaso on a 3-1 pitch. Casper Wells, left fielder, steps in. Been a hot hitter last 8 games. Hitting .458. Infield will set for a possible ground ball double play. And Kotze comes in to anchor at first base to hold on Jaso. Inside. There's a strike.
That's what Volquez should do this first inning. Come right out, 95, 94. That one was 92, but challenge him with the fastball. Casper Wells swinging a hot bat during interleague. And they're in the top 4.
Of course, a limited sample. He was in the minor leagues when we were in Seattle, so he's not had that many at-bats, but given a chance, he's swinging the lumber well. 2-1. It's certainly a part of the puzzlement when it comes to figuring out Edinson Volquez with his great stuff, why he struggles with that base on balls.
That's right out of The King and I, wasn't it? Life is a puzzlement.
He could be the lead singer. Yul Brynner.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. It's easier said than done. I mean, in any sport, how can a guy not hit a free throw? Nobody's in his face 15 feet away. Come on. How can a pitcher not throw a strike? Well, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And he's got such good stuff, and the ball moves. You would think that he would try to challenge these hitters and throw it right for the heart of the plate knee high, let the ball do the work.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
There you go. Good fastball at 93.
Padres wrap up this homestand and conclude interleague play. They start with a 7-7 record. They've had a winning record in interleague play only twice, in 1999 and 2 years ago, 2010. They were 9-6. Did he go? Yes, he did. Jaso out on strikes. Volquez logs his first strikeout.
Good curveball down and away, and Wells cannot hold up. Does he go? Absolutely he does.
Inside the park home run.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that. If he hit that one, that's over on the beach.
Boy, am I glad you're not an umpire.
Hey, I would ring him up every time.
Of course
you
you
offer
would.
at it, bang him.
Just a twitch and it's a strike. Huh?
That's right.
Here's Justin Smoke, the switch hitting first baseman, leads the team in home runs with 11. 94 on that one to push him off the plate. Smoke 1 for 8 in the series. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side, and that's a strike, with Headley playing almost midpoint between second and third. Our Lexus keys to the game, Mark Grant, are?
Well, the Padres need to hit the extra base hits. I mean, too many singles. That's not going to get the job done. Station to station is fine, but you need the double, you need the home run, and don't walk this way. Edinson Volquez, quite frankly, has to limit the walks. No free passes.
2-1. He's gone a fairly deep count or a deep count on all 4 hitters in this opening inning. So 20 pitches, and he's still facing only the 4th batter. $11 home runs, 10 of those from the left side for Justin Smoke. Wild wave.
And swinging at the ball. The Fox Tracks today brought to you by my good friends at Southland Technology. They rock, and they can rock for you as well. Good moving fastball out and away. Just got, pound that fastball. Get ahead with the heater. Believe me, they will chase the changeup and the curveball if it's down and out of the zone with 2 strikes. Well, now they want to talk about it.
John Baker, the catcher today. He has caught most of Volquez's games, in fact. These Mariners are used to lugging their baggage around. They've been on the road more than any major league team. They're finally going home after this game for a long home stand of 11 games. In the dirt, and a full count to Smoke.
Well, the old adage in baseball is this: if you throw a breaking ball to go to 3-2, you probably should throw it again 3-2, right? 2-2 for a ball, breaking ball. Why not throw another one? Now Katse will play behind the runner and guarding the line big time in that shift on the infield.
Second baseman Amarista playing shallow right field. Runner will get a big jump. There he goes. And a ground ball to Katse. The ball did find him in the opening inning, and he takes it to the bag for the out. That's it for the Mariners. Here come the Padres in the first. Venable, Cabrera, and Katse. Here's their lineup, brought to you by Toyota. But Black has juggled things a bit with Venable leading off. Cabrera moves up to the second slot. He's been hitting really well. Mark Katse for Alonso at first. Chase Headley, with Carlos Quinton not starting, is hitting cleanup. Chris Denorfia, 10-game hitting streak, bats 5th in left field. Then John Baker, Cameron Maben 7th. Alexi Amarista, who's hit well here at home. He's 9 for 30, a 300 average in his starts at Petco. Against Hector Noesi. He's 25 years of age, from the Dominican Republic. He came over with Jesus Montero from the Yankees in that Michael Pineda trade in the offseason and sends a strike into Venable. 15th start for Noesi. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds. On June 13th, went 7 innings, allowed just 1 run. It was Alonso's solo home run, and that was the only run in the game. Gave up just 5 hits and walked only 1 man, so he's got good control. He starts out ahead of Venable 1-2.
Hey, Dick, along with that fastball, he'll throw a changeup, a curve, and a slider. He's got a pretty good changeup. This is where Noesi has kind of struggled with 2 strikes on the hitter ahead, putting them away. His fastball is about mid 90s. He can top out about 96, but he's going to probably live around maybe 92, 93. I like his build. Tall, has that ability to work downhill.
Looks the part, doesn't he?
He's got some big shoulders.
Fouled at the plate, and the count remains 1-2. That was his curveball. Signed as a teenager by the Yankees in the minors. He was 30-18 with an ERA 2.98.
Wow,
through 7 years in the minor leagues.
You know what? You put up those kind of numbers even in the minor leagues, you're doing something. That's great. It's a good cotton candy day.
He really gets sticky in the warmer weather. High, 2-2. It's a nice way to keep, if you have a young child, to keep them close because they stick to you the whole game. You can't get
right.
They can't get away.
You don't have to put one of those leashes on them. You just give them cotton candy.
And good patient at bat by Venable. Works the count from 0-2 to full. Everett Cabrera on deck. Ball 4. Leadoff walk for Venable. Well, Noesi has had his problems deeply on the road. He's 2-4 at home, but away from Seattle, he's 0-4 with an 8 ERA. Here's the defense behind him: Wells, Saunders, and Ichiro in the outfield. Sean Figgins and Justin Smoke at the corners, with Ryan and Ackley the double play combo, and John Jason the catcher. Jaso handling the offerings of Hector Noesi, and that's a tough way to start. You're ahead of the hitter, 2 strikes, and you wind up walking him. Cabrera raising his average up to 270. He's hitting .302 as a left-handed hitter this year. He's been doing some really good things offensively.
He really has. You could just see the confidence starting to bloom for Everett Cabrera.
He bunts that in the air, fair, and the throw to first base is in time. That'll serve as a sacrifice, although Cabrera had designs on a base hit.
See, now that's one of the plays, and we talked about this before, that I would change as commissioner. To me, he would not get credit for a sacrifice. And I don't have enough time to get into it right now, but he does a nice job getting that runner over scoring position.
And the way official score would rule that is, does the hitter truly sacrifice his at-bat? He didn't sacrifice himself. He dumped a bunt at the last second.
You exactly hit the nail on the head.
And it would be easy enough to score.
That's the key word, sacrifice. He did not intend to give himself up there. He intended to get on base by sneaking the bunt down the third baseline.
Exactly.
Nicely said, Professor.
Mark Kotze.
The wordsmith you are.
Yes. Sacrifice. 3 syllables. Multisyllabic today. It's Sunday. Why not? Kotze, one of his rare starts, 15th of the season. 15 hits and 58 at bats. The home run came as a pinch hitter, and he fouls that one out of play.
Here's another thing I would do if I were commissioner. Okay, we got the sacrifice down. If I were commissioner, every player would be able to put his first name on the back of their jersey. I want Mark on the back of my jersey. Nick Hundley should have Nick.
Instead of Hundley, or you want the whole name?
No, first name. He gets to have his first name on the back of his jersey. Why can't everybody else?
Oh, I get you. All right.
John Baker should have John. What do you think?
I think you should not be commissioner. 1-2 to Katse.
Why does he get the special treatment? Vita Blue did it too. At Vita.
That reminds me of a story. Charles Filial, remember the big defensive end for the Oakland Raiders?
What did he have on the back?
No, he wanted to have
he
his
did.
whole name on the back. There's a line drive falling quickly in left center in front of Gutierrez. Holding halfway to third is Venables, so he moves up 90 feet on the single by Katse. His teammate was the fullback Mark Van Egan.
Oh, yeah.
So Van Egan was on the back. He says, how come he gets both names and I only get Filio?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, good piece of hit by Katse. Last night, remember he pinch hit? He smoked one, but it was right at the second baseman, Ackley. Mark Katse goes the opposite way. Short, quick swing to the baseball. Yeah, the Padres have a little action going on here, first and third. You got to hold up. That ball might be caught by Saunders. Good read by Will.
Chase Headley, first and third, 1 out. Had a couple of sacrifice flies in the win on Friday night. And here's a situation. You try to get that ball in the air and drive it deeply enough, and maybe a base hit as well, but get that runner home with 1 out. Take the early lead. Club leader in home run 7. RBIs 35. Headley. And he works the count to his favor, 2-0. That was a changeup. Well, based on the start, the first inning, these two right-handers, Volquez and Nuese, the big battle is with themselves, getting the pitches where they want it. Command of the strike zone. Line foul. Wicked line drive, and Headley way out in front.
Congratulations, young man. Made his day.
Not a drop spilled in the process. The action pitch, 2-1. Nuese falls behind, 3 balls and a strike. First and third, Padres opening inning, 1 away. Again, way out in front. Chris Denorfia, 10-game streak on deck. Full count to Headley. Strikes him out. Got him with a changeup.
That's a big league pitch right there by Nuese. Runners at the corners, 1 out, full count, and he brings Chase Headley to his knee on the changeup. That's a great pitch.
So Chris Denorfia with 2 outs, first and third. And he'll test that 10-game hitting streak. That has raised his average up to .286, the top batting average in the starting lineup today for San Diego. Ball 1. How about that hole in right center, Mark Grant?
Big hole in that alley. And Chris Denorfia has shown in the past that he's got that power to take the ball that way and drive it for extra bases. That was one of the keys. Right here would be a perfect opportunity. 2 outs, runners at the corner, extra base hit, 2 runs would come across for San Diego.
Nibbles the outside corner with a slider. Ten has been the number. Perfect 10 for Denorfia, Headley, Alonso, and Orlando Hudson. Northia trying to move away from the pack and make it 11 straight games. Oh, that looked a bit inside, didn't it?
That was inside, according to our Fox tracks. Noesi getting the call. It's a two-seam fastball. Yes, off the plate. Now Chris has really got to protect. Hey, I'm all about giving, right? But you can't give him that pitch on the end, off the plate.
2-2. So he gets the call inside, figures, well, maybe that strike zone is wide the other way, too. I'll try to get the outside corner call. On deck is John Baker. First and third, 2 out, 2-2 on Northia. And the count full again. Goodness, both these pitchers.
Can't put them away. Deep counts.
That's 24 pitches in the first inning for Noesi. That'll give Katse a running start at first base. He's off. A weak wave and a miss. And Northia goes after ball 4, and that's it for the Padres in the first inning. First and third, 1 out. They can't get the run home.
Ratio has to be to a point where he's making them swing the bat a little bit more efficient. His best games are when the ball strike ratio's there and the walks are down. So that's the challenge for him. His stuff is always pretty consistent. Start to start. So that's his challenge today.
That's Buddy Black talking about Edinson Volquez, what he needs to do to get back on the winning track after he suffered a loss when he played the Texas Rangers last time out. It is our Geico quote of the game. Now back up to the booth. Dick Enberg, Mark Grant.
Thank you, Layla. As we go to the second inning, Michael Saunders bunts it toward third. Headley, bare hand, pick up and throw. Can he get him? Yes, he does. Good reaction by Headley. He saw the bunt coming and charged from his position at third to deny Saunders, who as a big man can hit the home run, but he also is a very speedy foot.
Chase does this very well. Charges the ball, the bare hand. That is something that he has really worked on day in and day out. And it's not only barehanding, finding the handle, but throwing accurately on the run going towards home plate. So a job well done by Chase Headley.
Dustin Ackley, the second baseman, acting as if he wanted to bunt as well. He leads the team in runs scored. 40 times he's checked in. and leads in walks with 31 and has the count at 2-0. There were 48 total pitches in that first inning. 48. Let's see if we go a full 9. That'd be about 370 pitches in the game.
You know, it's coincidental, whatever you want to call it. But on the sad news that we heard about Darryl Ackerfeld's, what number did he wear?
48.
48.
Isn't that interesting? Drive to left. DeNorfia, a couple of steps back to make the catch. But that is really interesting. And sometimes there's enough of that happens. It's almost a statement.
Yeah. And you know what? It's a sad day, but I'll be quite honest with you. A good day, because knowing Darryl Ackerfeld for many, many years, we played against each other in the minor leagues. Big, strong, scrapping man. You know what? Nobody wants to see what Darryl went through. And he is resting in peace right now in that big bullpen in the sky. Sure, he's going to be missed, but I'll tell you what. To go through that was just devastating.
Such an unkind, ugly disease, pancreatic cancer. Yeah. Just Darryl, from this big, powerful man, just willed it down to so little at the end. But he fought to the end, and he certainly was with the Padres in spirit and followed them closely on television. Sean Figgins has to jump out of the way. And did that hit him? Apparently not. Tom Garfinkel making a statement on the passing of Darryl Ackerfeld. The Padre president said, as much as anyone who's ever worn the Padre uniform, spending 16 years in the organization, the popularity of Ack, as they called him. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and the many people who were lucky enough to know him.
You know, that's the one thing that when I think of Ack, he made everybody feel included. He could meet you for the first time, and it'd be like, you know what, I've known this guy for 10 years. That's how he would make you feel.
Punch to first, a tough in between hop, but Katse fields it cleanly, and the inning is over. Now, before the game, members of the bullpen bringing the jersey out to where Ackerfeld's felt most comfortable. Never took any credit, but he was an extension of Darren Balsley and the whole pitching regimen here. Ackerfeld's renting the pen, and he's still there. Padres up, last of the second. No score here at Petco, and a foul ball off third that's going to become a prize souvenir. Someone in the lower deck. John Baker's the hitter. He'll be followed by Cameron Maben and Alexi Amarista. Padres second. Padres making a roster move today. Another pitcher goes on the DL. Anthony Bass on the 15-day disabled list with that sore shoulder, and Andy Perino, the infielder, switch hitting infielder, has been called up from Tucson. He completing a rehab assignment himself. Played 6 games down at Tucson. So another Padre starter on the DL.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
It just is hard to fathom.
Well, we wish him well. Get well soon. It's the most you can ask, right? You've got no control over injuries. You go out there, you play 100%, you pull a hamstring, you strain a shoulder, you blow out an elbow. And these guys get prepared as much as they can to perform at this level. Nothing you can do about it.
2-2 to Baker. I enjoyed you and Mark Sweeney in that your little debate in the Padre Live. And your points well taken about pitch count. All of these pitchers that are on the DL for the Padres, they didn't throw that many pitches, then they're hurt. Who's to say how many pitches is enough or too many? We're talking about Steven Strasburg. If he's healthy and it's the 1st of September, you say, well, can't pitch anymore. Right. Pennant race, but
hey, Nolan Ryan was on a pitch count, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What is it, 180?
I think so. Baker loops one into center field for a base hit. A leadoff single for Baker. For Nolan Ryan to go 12 innings was nothing.
Hey, he got the ball at the start of a ball game and said, I'll let you know when I've had enough. And John Baker says, you're not going to get that changeup by me. I'll let you know when I've seen enough of the changeup. And dumps it in there for a base knock.
Cameron Maben, his average dipping down to 210. Taking a lot of pitches. He struck out 55 times and a lot of called third strikes. Slider outside. The whole system, the baseball system of a player, the physical with the emotional and the mental, and trying to tie those together. And when you're going well, you're not thinking. And when you're having trouble, I think it's just human that every player starts thinking too much. Well, should I change this? Should I try that? Should somebody says I could do this, and I'll go out and take more batting practice. No, I won't take batting practice this day. And it's.
You're right. And then to compile things even worse, how about when you've got your teammates trying to suggest things to you? You're trying to figure it out yourself, and you've got 5-6.
Ground ball to third, backing off as Higgins gets one there, but not able to turn the double play as Baker with a good slide into the second baseman Ackley, and Maben safe on the fielder's choice. It's a good exchange in terms of speed at first, because the Padres have their best base stealer now over there with Cameron Maben.
Kind of a juggling act down there at third base with Sean Figgins. Could not find the handle, and Maben's speed beats it out just in time, so the M's don't turn the double play.
Maben has the green light whenever he wants to go. Amarista, Alexei hitting .219, but as we mentioned, hitting .300 here at home. Fastball at 91. You could see some movement.
Yeah. And you know what else I noticed on that pitch? The nice frame job by John Jaso behind the plate. He caught that baseball, and it was like just bang.
Learned that up on the hill there at University of San Diego, Jaso. Coming home to play against the Padres after attending that fine university. One of several here in San Diego. Gosh, we're well blessed with top academic institutions with terrific sports programs. They're going to build a brand new baseball stadium there. Ron Fowler has made a major contribution to build a stadium. Of course, we have Tony Gwynn Stadium. John Moore's funded that at San Diego State.
Yeah, Rich Hill's got a great program over there at USD.
Out of play. And have you ever been to the baseball park at Point Loma Nazarene?
I have.
How beautiful is that?
If you're a pitcher, that's where you want to go pitch because the breeze is always coming off the ocean. See how far you can hit it. But what a great view.
Well, that's it. As a batter, you look out there and you say, that panorama, the Pacific Ocean right out there staring you in the face. How do you keep your mind on the game?
It's great.
Surrealistic. 1-2 to Amarista. He goes down swinging, and that's the third strikeout for Noesi. And University of California, San Diego. They got a nice ball yard in La Jolla as well.
Slider up and away, and Amarista swinging at a ball. And too big of a swing, I think, as well. You know?
Here's Volquez, 2 hits and 23 at bats. Outfield moves up a couple of steps at each position, playing him not to pull. 1-1.
Tell you what, if Edinson Volquez connects on a fastball from Noesi the way he connected on the golf course when we were up in Seattle, that ball is going to go a long way. You should see this guy hit a golf ball.
Off the tee. Huh?
Oh. Just picture that ball saying Titleist on it, Edinson. You should be fine.
1-2.
Good slider.
You said Clayton Richard can hit it a
Clayton
mile too.
Can hit it a country mile as well. Oh, he hit some bombs that day.
41st pitch. Watch out. And goes way back beyond the aisle in the lower deck.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, wait a second. What do we got going on here? Oh, he just wanted to show it to him.
Curveball doesn't break, and it's 2-2 to Volquez. So the pitch count for Noesi is now at 42. Not out of the second inning yet. Struck him out. So a couple strikeouts in the first, 2 more in the second for Noesi. Padres leave a man to the third, no score. Largest 4G network, AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Petco, where the healthy pets go. Well, we've got our own sandbox here at Petco Park. There's the real deal out on the shores of San Diego as we go to the third. Good day for a picnic, and some of the fans taking advantage out in the park at the park.
That looked like Coronado Beach right there. You can see Cabrillo in the background there. Love Coronado. That's the high rent district.
It's a nice visit, just a nice little community. I'd love to go to Hotel Del just to be on the grounds there, the Hotel Del.
Hey, to have a beach out in Alpine, I got to go to the hardware store and buy a bag of sand, throw it out on my driveway. That's the beach to me. Hey, bad ball strike ratio for Edinson Volquez, Dick, as we start this inning. 16 balls, 17 strikes, but we're scoreless. He needs to find a groove, right?
First strike to Brendan Ryan. 1-1.
I'd like to thank the angry statistician Mike Trussell, who does a fine job for us here in the booth. At least he tries. Dick?
Back to you, Mark. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brendan Ryan. And 2-1. But one thing's for certain, you would guess that the managers are saying, hey, don't swing at the first pitch, because if you just wait it out, you're going to get 2-1, 2-2, 3-2.
Good point.
No matter if it's Volquez or Noesi on the mound.
Took a little off that fastball at 92. He wanted it away. Kind of leaked over the heart of the plate. I mean, chances are so many off-speed pitches from Volquez in this situation as a hitter. I would have to think you're looking off-speed.
Curveball in the dirt, 3-2. Wearing his pitch count on his back now, 37. Headley cutting in front of Cabrera and makes the play, and that was the only way they were going to get Ryan out, if Headley could get to it first.
Yeah, we talk about momentum in this game of baseball, not only emotionally but also on the field. Chase Headley's momentum is going that way. If Cabrera cuts that ball off, he's going to maybe throw across his body a little bit, but Chase does a nice job firing a strike and getting Ryan by a full step.
Pitcher Hector Noesi had a couple of at-bats in the game against the Padres up in Seattle, struck out both times. So throw a fastball down the middle and get ahead of him, but first pitch is outside. Two and one. Good to have Military with us again today. The attendance on this Sunday will boost the Padres past the 1 million mark for the season.
Nice.
They're ahead of last year's average, over 25,000 a game. A base hit to right field. Just a little squirt over the first baseman Kotze's head. That was about where last night Felix Hernandez hit the 2-run double, although he had more punch behind his swing. That one was just a little parachute over first for a hit.
Yeah, off the end of the bat. And Noesi down the first baseline. You know, when the Greyhounds take that first turn at the track, look at that. Did you see his back end going towards the dugout trying to catch up?
Here comes the rabbit. Well, the pitchers have had a big influence on this series. Clayton Richard with a 3 RBI, 2-run double. Last night, a 2-run double for Felix Hernandez, and Noesi has his first major league hit. And Ichiro follows with a base hit to right field. Now with one out, back-to-back singles by the number 9 hitter and number 1 leadoff hitter, Ichiro.
Hitting the top half of the baseball, finding that hole on the right side. Now another ground ball here. Hopefully it runs to the middle infielders to turn 2. Jaso, the catcher, does not have blazing speed. He's only grounded into 3 double plays this year.
He walked the first time up. Lifts that one to left field. Denorfia starts back and then cruises in to make the catch, and the runners return. Noesi to second and Ichiro back to first. 2 out. Casper Wells steps up. Well, tomorrow, Mark, is you looked at the UT today, and on the front page, a terrific story. Wimbledon begins tomorrow. And 50 years ago, a teenager, she was just 19, Karen Hans Sussman, who is from Mission Bay High School here in San Diego, shocked the tennis world, won Wimbledon. She was, for many years, the longest shot ever to win the women's title. Still plays a great game of tennis with her husband, Rod. You know, we have a great heritage. Mo Conley was the first woman to win the Grand Slam of tennis, and she was just a teenager, also from San Diego.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but who did she beat to claim that title? Do you know? Or was it somebody?
I think it was Sakova, the Czechoslovakian, that she beat in the championship. A really good article, and it's tough to get her to ever talk about herself. She's so modest. But the few times I've had a chance to meet her, even got a chance to hit with her and Rod. Just an absolute great champion of a person as well. But nice to salute our own, and Karen Hans Sussman and Mo Conley, 2 Wimbledon and 2 tennis greats. And she was married, had a child, and really didn't follow through. Billie Jean King said she could have won many more majors, but she decided to go a different direction in life. Happily so. They say that she had about as smooth a serve as any woman who ever played.
About 4 or 5 O's in that smooth.
About a smooth serve. 2 strikes to count on Wells. 2 on, 2 out. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A changeup gets Wells. He has struck out twice. The Mariners leave 2 in the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd, it'll be the top of the order for the Padres. Padres and Mariners conclude their 3-game series and interleague play. Seattle's 8-9 this year. They've been 500 or better 12 consecutive years interleague play. And the Padres trying to finish interleague play with a winning record 8-7. And our San Diego County Credit Union factoid of the game involves Andrew Kashner, who pitched for San Antonio last night. He's had 3 rehab starts. 2-0, a 1.88 ERA, 22 strikeouts, and 14 in the 3rd innings, only 3 walks.
The one thing that sticks out about that, and we talked about it, Mark Sweeney and I, before the game, I wanted to find out of the 94-pitch effort from Kashner the other night, what pitch 94 was on the velocity. 97. So that's a good sign for Andrew Kashner.
Well, he pitches last night in a rotation. He would be ready to go again on Thursday, and that's an open spot for the Padres in Houston, the 4th game of the Houston Astros series. It's not official, but Kashner may well be ticketed to get the start in that final game at Houston.
And speaking of Mark Sweeney, he's down there soaking up some sun down by the Padre dugout.
Beautiful day in San Diego, guys.
Sun splashed?
Sun splashed. Mike Pomerantz's favorite phrase.
Will Venable walked to open the first inning for the Padres. Got around to third on a single by Kotsay, but with one out, both Headley and Denorfia struck out. For the National League, high chopper. That's a tough hop, but handled nicely by Ackley. One away. Well, here are the best records. Interleague play by National League teams. The D-backs are 9-6. Washington, Pittsburgh, the Mets, and the Padres there at 500.
The Pods hanging tough at 7-7. Be nice to end Interleague for 2012 at 8-7. Are the Buccos for real, Dick Enberg, in the National League Central?
Is that an echo from a year ago?
Right. I don't know.
We were asking the same question this
Exactly.
season last year.
Yep. And for the Cubs, there's always next year.
They're trailing Arizona 1-0 in the 4th. Cabrera sacrificed. First time up.
Oh, the Buccos, one game behind the Cincinnati Redlegs.
And the Cubs languishing there.
Yeah.
Last place.
Hey, 104 years. It's a tough streak.
But they wear it so proudly in Chicago on the north side. Doesn't stop them from selling out home games.
As I've said all along, at Wrigley Field, it's a big party. There just happens to be a game going on.
Meanwhile, the White Sox are having a good season, and they're averaging around 20,000 a game. Amarista takes strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Neosi. And last night, Felix Hernandez fanned 10 in 7 innings.
Right on the outside corner. Good two-seam action to get Cabrera looking. Is it high enough? You betcha. Right above the knees.
Cabrera, the 5th strikeout victim, and Mark Kotsay singled his first time and fouls that one away. Padres with a couple of singles, Kotsay and Baker, and 2 singles. The attack so far for Seattle, Ichiro and the pitcher Noesi. Another foul. .430 for Padres Live, the opener of the road trip at Houston tomorrow night. Ohlendorf will get the start against Wandy Rodriguez of the Astros. Up the middle and into center field. Kotsay's 2 for 2.
I wonder who chose Kotsay today to pick the stick. Huh. Shocker.
Yeah, that's Sweeney. He wanted him.
He goes down and gets that fastball. Nicely done by Kotsay. Good looking swing. 2 times this afternoon and hitting the ball 3 times now. The at-bat last night pinch hit. He smoked it right to the second baseman. And today 2 times hitting the ball cleanly.
Outstanding pick, Dick. Can't blame you.
No, I've just been listening to you, Mark. I bow to your judgment. Chase Headley. Runner goes, and they've got him hung up. Kotsay. And he was tagged by the shortstop as he flew by. So Kotsay guessed, but Noese wisely held the ball a little longer. Caught stealing is the veteran Kotsay. hits for the Padres. Each team has left 3, and it's time now for our AT&T trivia question. And what year did the National League last win the season series in interleague play against the American League? The American League has had their way in action between the two teams, 2 leagues. And we'll have the answer for you in the next half inning. Volquez starts Justin Smoak with a strike. Changeup. Smoak grounded to first in the first inning. Shift is on. Oh, you would think that now with 2 strikes on him, he'd want to take a shot to left field. Look at the room between third base Bag and Chase Headley, who's closer to second than he is to third.
Yeah, some guys are just geared certain ways with certain pitches being thrown their way. Off-speed pitch, curveball, kind of tough to hit it that way.
Change up in the dirt. Smoak, Saunders, Ackley at the middle of the Seattle order here in the top of the 4th inning.
Fastball up, John Baker wants. Change up. Fastball in, curveball. Let's regroup.
Volquez steps off, and Baker again is going to go through the signs.
Fastball in.
Ground ball to shallow right field, where Amarista throws him out. And like so many here at Petco Park in the Padres organization, Mark Sweeney with his feelings about Darryl Ackerfeld.
Yeah, Dick, Mark and heavy hearts today, and it's a sad day losing Ack. He was such a great friend, a teammate of mine up in AAA in Vancouver, but also a coach too, a tremendous teammate, a tremendous coach, but also a friend of many of us. Sad day losing Ack, but so many memories to remember him by.
He was a man's man and a great team player. Saunders after that curveball and can't find it.
You know, Dick, you just said something that's very noteworthy. It was always about the other person. It was never about Darryl. Now that you mentioned that. Of all the times, you know, I've had conversations with him, or it was in a group having a conversation, it was never about him. He was always concerned about the other person. What are your interests? What do you do well?
How can I help you?
Exactly.
Saunders tried to bunt his way on. Thrown out by Headley. Good play made by the third baseman. One of the few times that Volquez has been ahead of the hitter 2 strikes. Throws that one away. 1-2. Right field. Venable. And off the head of the bat. Didn't get much behind it, Saunders. 2 away.
It was out in front of the changeup. It's a great pitch. Righty on lefty hitter. And as you mentioned, Dick, the movement, the arm speed looks like fastball, and Saunders just out in front of it, almost one-hands it. Good pitch.
Saunders on a tough pitch last night.
Yeah.
In on his hands, able to get his hands through and homer off the right field foul pole. Ackley line to left his first time up. Curveball. 0-2. So Volquez jumps in front of Ackley. 2 strikes. That's 4 straight hitters now that he's jumped up 2 strikes. Fastball tails outside.
Hey, 0-2. If you throw a fastball away, that's where you want to miss. That's a good miss, if you want to call it that. He's going to drop the cambio on him right here.
Pulled Takatse. Sprints to the bag for the out. 1-2-3 inning for Edinson Volquez. Padres bottom of the 4th. It'll be Headley, Denorfia, and Baker. Army Appreciation Day on this Military Sunday, but our Marine friends are here as well, and the Marine hymn in between innings as some of the recruits from Hotel Company, the recruit training battalion, and their drill instructors up in their usual spot in right field. And because of the close proximity of Camp Pendleton, we are fortunate to have the Marines with us most every Sunday. We're happy to salute the U.S. Army men and women here today as well.
Yeah, Mark Sweeney is saluting them by wearing his military tie this afternoon. Nicely done, Marco.
Honored to wear this too, Mark. Especially people from Oceanside ended up making this from actual pants, so we are very honored to wear these. Mike and I both wearing them today.
Nice.
Chase Headley, 2-2, leading off the fourth, and full count takes it to 3-2. Struck out on a 3-2 pitch the first time. Ball four, a leadoff walk. Maybe that'll get something going. Put a dent in that scoreboard. No score here in the fourth. Despite his apparent wildness, it's only the second walk given up by Noesi. Chris Denorfia took the count to 3-2 his first time and struck out on a check swing.
That kid that we just showed out there, a little Braveheart going on with the face painted. Hopefully the Padres can get a little something going here.
This game similar to the one that Noesi pitched up in Seattle, and scoreless until the seventh inning when Yonder Alonso hit the solo home run. That was it, 1-0 game. Fastball on the outside corner at 91. Ground ball up the middle and by the diving Ryan into left center. 11 straight games. Denorfia with a base hit. A solid single. Shot past Ryan at shortstop.
Well, at first I thought Ryan had a chance to snag this one and come up, toss into second base, and possibly start a double play. The short grass on the infield enables this ball to get through Ryan. And also playing at double play depth cuts down his range a little bit. So, hey, look at that. First and second, nobody out here.
Padres had first and third with one out in the first inning, but couldn't come up with a big play and a run. Here's Baker, and the infield for the Mariners, at least at third. Figgins looking for a bunt. He's swinging and a base hit to right field. Ichiro with a great arm, so they're going to have to hold Headley at third base. Bases loaded, a walk and a couple of singles, and the Padres with the first serious threat by either team. Baker 2 for 2.
First pitch, hacking. Fastball, outer half. Tell you what, I'd like to go online right now and buy an extra base hit, please. All singles this game, Marco.
Mark and Dick, you know what happened last time up in Seattle, much like the same. Bud Black gave John Baker a first pitch swing, and he ended up fouling it off up in Seattle, laid down a perfect bunt, changed the inning right there. Aggressive style of managing, giving John Baker that first swing.
Bases loaded, no one out to Cameron Maben, safe on a fielder's choice his first time. Swing and a miss at a slider. Infield is back. They're looking for a double play chance. They'll trade that for a run. Try to stay out of the big inning. Maben hitting just 143 this year with runners in scoring position.
I don't think Maben's going to see a fastball this at bat, except if it's way in.
Yeah, that was way in.
Yeah. He got ahead with the slider down and away, paint on the outside corner. Fastball in, missing probably on purpose, because Noesi wants to throw a short, tight breaking ball, I'm guessing, Something for Maben to put on the ground. Maben needs to elevate something to the outfield.
2 balls and a strike. The slider just misses wide.
Guys, down here you can always see tendencies. Hector Noesi actually slows up a little bit on his breaking stuff. You have to sit on the heater, and if he slows his arm down, you can pick that up as a hitter.
Headley at third, DeNorfie at second, Baker at first, and the action pitch 2-1 with no one out. Maben waits. 3-1. Well outside and low. Now Mark Sweeney is a hitter, 3-1. Obviously he's swinging if he likes it. Yeah, this is where you really got to look for your pitch in a certain spot, is it not?
Yeah, it looks just like Mark Grant said. Look for something elevated that you can elevate into the outfield. Short swing with the infield back. You can put it on the ground as well.
Pressure on Noesi, 3-1.
Oh, a line drive right to the glove of Noesi, and he can't quite double up.
DeNorfie at second. What a play. That ball was headed for center field, and Noesi a self-defense stab to deny Maben and the Padres. Oh my, look at this. Boom. Oh. What instincts, human instincts at that. We're talking about 2 men that are 60 feet apart.
That was head
less
right,
than that.
That was head right for his face. How he got that glove up there so quickly is beyond me. It is amazing what the human body can do to react at a baseball coming at you about 100 miles an hour.
And a great reaction by Chris DeNorfie getting back to second base on a play like that. That's very tough to read as a base runner.
Yeah, those can be triple plays. Line drives that get to the glove that fast. Yep. So 1 out. Unfortunate luck for Maben. Can't hit it any harder. Here's Alexi Amarista. He struck out the first time.
And he hits this one well to left field. Wells has to go back. He can't get there. It bounces into the crowd. A ground roll double. And the Padres lead 2-0. But that's, again, unfortunate. If that ball stays in play, Amarista might have cleaned up the bases. Well, he doubles his RBI count for the year. Started today with 2, and he knocks home 2 with that drive over Wells' head. A little pop in the bat of Amarista, hitting the warning track, and my goodness, just a little bit. If that ball bounces, that ball's going to bounce back up off the wall over Wells' head, and who knows what happens. That's definitely another run, and Amarista's probably standing on third base. But the Padres will take it. 2 points.
Now Volquez up in the infield. Will play it about halfway, although shortstop Ryan is back at a normal position. Second and third. And just 1 out. And that was the line drive back in the box that Noesi made an incredible play. Glenn Hoffman at third, making sure that Baker's alert for a possible squeeze sign. And that was the safety squeeze, and Baker able to scramble back to third base. 0-2 the count.
How about a butcher boy here? How about a fake bunt, right? Pull back, chop it on the ground. Infield's in a little bit. You might get one over the infielder's heads. You never know. You might get it off home plate. How about a double?
Foul tip. And caught by Jaso, the catcher. Strike 3. 6 strikeouts now for Noesi. It's one of those innings where the Padres could have had a big crooked number. Yep. You got a walk, a couple of singles, and then the line drive caught by Noesi. Then you're bad luck on the ball bouncing into the stands off the warning path for a ground rule double that might have scored a third run.
Isn't it amazing how the ball is not bouncing the way? I mean, sure, the 2 runs is great.
Here's Venable, a chance to pick up a couple more with runners at second and third. 2 out now. Venable has walked and grounded to second base.
That one caromed off the facing of the second deck. Back downstairs. So Headley started it with a leadoff walk. Denorfia singled sharply past short. Baker a line drive single to right to load the bases, and then Maben drilled that liner back to the pitcher Noesi, who somehow managed to get a glove on it. Amarista then doubled, ground rule double over Wells' head and left. 2-0. Volquez has struck out, and now it's 1-1 on Venable with Amarista at second and Baker at third. No, we have a lot of soccer fans, football fans, and the Euro is underway, and they're down to the final four in a big international event. Foul back, and Italy has just defeated England in a penalty shootout. So Italy will play Germany in the semifinals. The other semifinal will have Spain against Portugal. Alonso of Spain scored 2 goals. I said to Yonder, nice game yesterday. He said, I don't like Spain. I'm rooting for Portugal. Okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Popped up. Figgins into foul territory. Squeezes the final out, and the Padres have to settle for 2 runs on 3 hits. The big hit, Amarista's double to left. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Get away for the day at the all-new Sequan Casino, San Diego's destination for casino gaming and excitement. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer. And welcome back to Petco Park, where Alexi Amarista has delivered the key blow for the Padres and a 2-0 lead on his ground rule double to left field. Volquez works with the lead. He hasn't had that luxury very often in his starts this year, his 15 previous starts. In fact, second fewest runs scored by a team for their pitcher throughout the major leagues. 2.46 average in his games. He's got 2 to work on. Go get him now. Sean Figgins, the hitter. And he's ahead 2 strikes with the curveball.
It seems like Volquez has really got a good touch now, a good feel for that curveball and the changeup. We saw it last inning, and 2 quality pitches there to Sean Figgins.
Pulled to the right side to Amarista. 1 away. Volquez throwing a lot of ground ball outs today. Well, as the 4th of July approaches, Fox Sports San Diego wants to pay tribute to the men and the women who bravely serve our country. And if you want to honor your military hero, visit foxsportssandiego.com/for the troops and submit a photo and a special message. Fox Sports San Diego may share your story online. Check back starting July 1st to find out if they've selected your application. It's all for the troops. Jumping ahead, those first pitch strikes now for Volquez as Brendan Ryan takes a fastball. That's 8 straight batters now. Volquez throwing a first pitch strike.
You know what I love about Brendan Ryan? You know, you always hear about these players coming from like the University of Miami, USC, University of Oregon. This kid played in an NAIA school, Lewis and Clark, in Lewiston, Idaho. They've got a darn good program up there. And I love to see the kids that go to the JCs, go to the NAIA schools, and eventually make it up to the big leagues.
Well, he's Seattle's answer to the Padres' Denorfia.
Right.
You say to Denorfia, where'd you go to school? He says, Wheaton. He said, oh, in Illinois. No, another Wheaton. Wallingford, Connecticut is his high school home, and Wheaton College is in Norton, Massachusetts, Division III. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A curveball gets Ryan. Number 3 in the strikeout column for Eddie Volquez.
Great tilt and great location. He's got that field working. And Mark Sweeney, it's all about the body language for Volquez, and he has got that strut working a little bit right now.
He does, and there's been a couple pitches where he's just trying to make adjustments mechanically, but looks like he has a good rhythm on the mound, got that breaking ball back.
And the rhythm is going to get you.
No question.
Misses low to Noesi, who singled little blue pit over first base in the 3rd inning for his first major league hit. Volquez now has retired 7 Mariners in a row. 2-0. So he's cruising along, good control. Then the pitcher steps in, and Volquez can't throw him a strike. 3-0. Ichiro on deck. Aims that one in there at 92.
All the way back now.
Full count. Noesi trying to influence plate umpire Carlson.
You think you got a call on that one? I think that was off the plate a little bit, huh? 4 pitches, 5 pitches, no strikes, but he's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Chop to the hole and through. Oh my. Noesi. American League, he didn't get a chance to hit. 2 for 2 today. Well, let's bring you our AT&T trivia question. The answer today and as to what year did the National League last win the season series in interleague play against the American League? You have to go back to 2003. American League dominating interleague play. There it is.
And you have to consider, you know, the DH, they're used to that style of play of baseball. You get that one big bopper in the lineup, but it all boils down to playing good, sound, fundamental baseball. Pitching and defense, you know.
I don't think that the National League teams worry about that statistic one bit. What they worry about is the World Series and the All-Star game to get that home field advantage. Nice to win them all. And maybe a modest bragging rights if you're a National or American Leaguer. 2-0 the count, so out goes Baker to talk with Volquez. And,
they don't.
What's going on there?
Well, the pitchers always cover their mouth when they're talking to the catcher because they don't want anybody to see what they're doing. How do you want to pitch this guy?
Well, but they can still hear you, see? I mean, even though you're covering your mouth, we can't read your lips, but the fans at home can still hear you.
Yeah.
But I just want to hear you.
Yeah. What do you want to throw him here? How about a changeup?
How about a strike? 3-0 to Ichiro.
How about Ichiro rocking the Eddie Munster sideburns?
Line to right, grounded to single to right. 6 hits in the series for Ichiro. In the dirt, ball 4. So Volquez cruising along, in control. 2 outs here in the 5th inning, retiring 7 straight, and then Noesi touches him up, a single to left, and now the walk on 4 pitches to Ichiro, and the tying run is on.
Sometimes the stride can get a little long with Volquez.
A reminder, you can join the Padres U.S. Marine Corps Appreciation Day. That's coming up, presented by USAA, Sunday, July 8th. So mark it down on your baseball calendar. A 1 o'clock Sunday game. Pre-game ceremonies before the Padres and the Cincinnati Reds. And after the game, kids 14 and younger are invited to run the bases here at Petco Park. So get your tickets, Padres.com, or call 619-795-5555. Now that's good mess up there. There's mess on the base, and then there's a good mess at the ballpark. Curveball strike to John Jaso. He's walked and flied to left.
That tells me that Edinson Volquez making an adjustment after Darren Balsley has a chat. First pitch curveball for a strike. And as I mentioned before he went out there, sometimes the stride of Volquez can get a little bit too long because he really jumps out towards home plate. And what that does is it lowers the arm angle and you start to push the ball and you're not working downhill.
2 on, 2 out. Padres 2-0 lead. Off speed. He spun that curveball in there at 79.
He takes a long stride. You see, it actually hops a little bit. Sometimes that gets a little bit too long. Tough to stay on top of the baseball and work downhill when the stride is really long.
Fouled at the plate. I want to correct myself. I had Jaso playing at the University of San Diego. He was recruited, had said he will attend USD, but at that time he also was drafted by Tampa Bay and signed a professional contract. So he didn't have the great pleasure of being a part of the academic community at USD.
But he did play down at Southwestern Junior College, just down the road here, south of here, which has got a pretty good program as well.
2 strikes to count on Jaso. Upstairs with the 94-mile-an-hour heater. Volquez not happy with that delivery and snatches at the ball on the return from Baker.
Mark, you talk about that long slide from Volquez, and he jumps at you. Makes it very difficult from the hitter standpoint. That's why you see a lot of swings and misses, a lot of takes on the breaking ball and changeup.
Yeah, so at times it can work to his advantage. He can still probably hop, Mark, and still shorten up that stride, but that's a good part of the deception.
Fly ball center field. Maben giving ground and has enough room in center field to collect a long bid by Jaso. No runs, 2 left. Halfway mark. 2-0 Padres.
Stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 Major League Baseball All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 4:30 p.m. Pacific on Fox.
And an All-Star Game memory produced by a former USC star, Fred Lynn. Played with the Angels, played with the Red Sox wearing the Angel uniform in the '83 All-Star Game and hit a grand slam. That's one to put in the memory bank. Lynn helping the American League.
Oh, yeah. Robin Yount, Rod Carew, Fred Lynn. Still to this day, the only grand slam in All-Star Game history. Teammates of both those gentlemen. Fred Lynn, great guy, great teammate. Atlee Hammaker, the old left-hander.
He threw the pitch.
Yes, he did.
So in a way, he's a single part of history too,
as well. Yes.
Somebody has to throw it.
That's exactly.
Otherwise, Lynn, what's he got?
That's right.
Pitchers just don't get credit for those grand slams. And Cabrera pushing a hard ground ball, dragged to third, and he's out 5-3. Hit it too hard.
Did you ever attend an All-Star Game, Dick?
Never have.
I never have either.
Always watch it. You know, it's compelling stuff.
Hey, I remember as a little leaguer going to practice during the summer and could not wait to get home because the All-Star Game was on. Our coach would cut the practice short because the Midsummer Classic was on.
Kotze is 2 for 2, and he bunts. And that's a beauty. They'll let it roll, and it goes foul. Tough luck for Kotze, who crumples to one knee when he realizes that ball didn't stay on the grass. How did that not stay there? It had just enough English on it to kick off the grass. Once it left the grass, then it had enough momentum to roll foul.
And Mark Kotze busted his tail down the first baseline thinking, I did all that. I busted my tail. And at the last second, it goes foul. He goes to a knee. Oh, that was perfectly done. Right here. He goes to a knee. Oh, no. I got to do it all over again.
That was his bid for a 3-for-3 day. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield giving him right center field. One ball, 2 strikes. Changeup.
Like a lot of left-handers at the plate, the outfield playing him to go the opposite way. And a little bit on the shallow side against Kotze. But there's a huge hole in right center field. Towards the beach.
Good cut.
Hey, you know what you should do if you're a baseball fan? Go back and look at the old box scores for All-Star games, like in the 60s and 70s. Willie Mays, 2 for 6, 3 for. My point is, these guys played the whole game. It wasn't just like 1 at bat, 2 at bats, see you later.
Pitchers went 3 innings basically.
Yeah.
Until you got to the 8th, 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you were in a debate with Mark Sweeney, and I can't quite recall how the two of you took sides and how other people do, but I think it's an absolute must that each team is represented. That was part of the reason why I'd heard home to see how my team players did. I was rooting for them in the All-Star game.
I agree with you, Dick.
Ground ball, right field. Kotze 3 for 3. A 1-out single. Gets a chance to start on this sunny Sunday and delivers 3 straight hits.
Mark Kotze, very versatile outfielder and playing first base today and trying with the bunt, but it went foul. He takes a changeup down, stays on it. How far out in front? Out in front of that front shin of his, finding the hole on the right side. Good short stroke on that low pitch. That was a good-looking swing, wasn't it, Mark Sweeney?
Outstanding swing. Down and in for a lefty, especially with a short swing like Mark Kotze has, is very dangerous.
And that's usually your guy, too, so you have to be extra happy.
Well, I can't stand Mark Kotze. Favorite player by far.
That's great.
Headley has struck out and walked. scored after leading off the 4th inning. He walked. Then Denorfia singled to extend his hitting streak to a career high 11 games in a row. Then Baker lined a single to load the bases. Maben lined out to the pitcher before Amarista doubled in 2, and those are the 2 runs of the game. Two balls and a strike. Chase Headley. Hector Noesi up to 86 on the pitch count. 1 out, Kotsay at first. Curveball, changeup. There, the pitch is thrown by Noese as he's trying to get through this 5th inning and stay under 100.
Hey,
well,
Dick,
now 3-2.
I was just going to ask you, what's the count?
Full count on Headley. Could put that on the back of his jersey.
Yeah.
See if the Padres play a little run and hit here with 1 out. Kotsay has his lead. He goes. Ground ball. Oh, beautiful glove work by Smoke to deny Headley. And because Kotsay was running, the Padres stay out of the double play.
All right, well, if you're a UFC fan, stay tuned, folks. Saturday, August 4th, UFC returns to Fox with 4 massive fights, including knockout artist Shogun Rua taking on Brandon Vera in the biggest fight of his career, plus an epic bout between former UFC champ Lyoto Machida. That's his nickname. And rising star Ryan Bader. UFC Fight Night on Fox, sponsored by Bud Light, is live from Los Angeles Saturday, August 4th at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Some good fights going on there. There's a Nebraska fan. He's got the Chia Pet salad working.
2 outs. Kotsay at second base. Denorfia singled the last time. Padres could use an insurance run.
My favorite is Lyoto Machida. Love that guy. He's awesome. Love that guy. And Bader, he's pretty good too.
He's a master at his work. Two and one. Denorfia. Kotsay ready to go with 2 outs out at second base. Three balls and a strike.
First base open. Wondering if Noesi's going to throw that breaking ball, that slider, down and away here.
John Baker on deck is 2 for 2. Padres with 7 hits, 6 singles, and the 2-run double by Amarista. Swing and a high fly to deep right center field. That ball is carrying, but not far enough as Saunders tracks it down out near the 400-foot sign. We've completed 5 at Petco. The Padres lead 2-0.
as we enter the 6th inning here at Petco Park. And before the game, the Padres continue their salute to the military, this time by celebrating the Army. This is Army Appreciation Day. We got to see new recruits in a ceremony before the game, and right now I'm joined by the Colonel himself, Kurt Pinkerton, Garrison Commander at Fort Irwin. And Colonel, what is the path that these new recruits take before they see you?
Well, I mean, the ones that just enlisted today, they'll shortly be heading off to basic training, and then they'll go to advanced training. And about a year from now, those same soldiers may be assigned to a unit getting ready to go to combat, and then they visit us out at the National Training Center where they go through their final certification before they deploy to Afghanistan or some other foreign country.
And we're happy to see you and the new recruits here and representatives from Fort Irwin. What does it mean to you to see the Padres supporting the military the way they do?
Well, I mean, first of all, everybody at Fort Irwin, the National Training Center, want to say thanks to the Padres for bringing our families and our soldiers out here that work so hard. But it's key. I mean, I don't know if everybody realizes in San Diego how large of a population of their sons and daughters and their mothers and fathers that serve in the military, not only in the active Army, in the Marines, and the Navy, but also in the reserves and the Guard. And as everybody knows, over the past 10 years, they've deployed and supported combat operations and security operations throughout the world just as much as everybody else in the armed services. So it is an absolute pleasure to be out here on behalf of the Padres, and we're very thankful.
Colonel Pinkerton, we appreciate the time, and happy 237th birthday to the Army, just celebrated on the 14th. Dick Enberg, Mark Grant, back to you.
All right, Layla. Thank you to the Army today as we salute the men and women in the Army. Wells chops one to deep short. Cabrera uses that big arm to throw him out. Casper Wells. He said that's a family name. 5 generations there's been a Casper around the dinner table.
I like that. It's original. It's different. It's got a good ring to it. Casper Wells.
85 pitches now for Volquez. 1 out in the top of the 6th inning, and just as he shackled the attack of the Mariners up in Seattle, when he went almost 7 full innings, allowed just 1 run. So as he blanked Seattle thus far through 5 1/3. Justin Smoke, 2 groundouts.
3 infielders with Smoke up at the plate. Like to see that.
Nine ground ball outs for Volquez today.
You know, you can only have infielders there. Now, the coach there, you can't have that because he can't make a play, and then the rest of the guys are all over there.
So you have 11 out there. That's not a football lineup, folks. He's counting the coaches.
Right. You can only have.
That's just like you. You don't want to leave anyone out. I mean, you include. That's all. We all get embraced.
Yep. In fact, right now you've got the umpire, you've got the hitter, the catcher, and the pitcher. That'd be 4.
Ground ball right at the shortstop, who is playing second base, Cabrera, and another ground out. So is that 4-3 or 6-3?
6-3, because Cabrera is your listed shortstop, Campo Corto in Espanol, and that's the old 6-3 play.
And because the ball only hit 2 men, you go 1 and then a 2, so there'd be 2 involved in that play on your
correct
graphic there.
Yes, sir.
Good. I'm catching on.
Fun with numbers. Hey, brings me back to my days watching Sesame Street, right? Today's number is 1.
Line drive by the dive of Amarista out into right field, and a solid single by Mike Saunders. He's a good-looking hitter, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He likes to swing the bat, and it's an aggressive swing. And what does he get here? It's a 2-seamer that leaks on the inner part of the plate. Just that sound of the ball off the bat, hitting that sweet spot.
Saunders last night, a single very similar to that one, and a home run. He also stole a couple of bases, so beware. With 2 out, Volquez just a lob toss over to Katse. Dustin Ackley, the batter, he's lined to left and grounded to Katse at first base. Interesting leadoff stance taken by Saunders, almost instead of squaring up facing home plate, he almost turns as if he's in a starting block.
Getting that front side open a little bit toward second base so he can free that front side maybe. Let's take a look. Yeah. You know, that's the way Dave Roberts led off when he was a Padre, when he was a Red Sox, when he was a Dodger, Cleveland Indian, to free that front side. There's the doctor. Because if you think about it, when you look at the way he's leading off, he's got enough weight on that front foot towards second base to plant and go back and push off to first base. But yet if he elects to go to second base, that front hip is open a little bit to where he can free himself.
And the first step taken by the left foot, the crossover step.
Correct.
2-1 now to Ackley. We're in the sixth, 2 out. Saunders with a single at first base. The Padres lead it 2-0. Fastball, 2-2, 93 on that one.
And good location by Volquez. That's a good sign. Pitch number 94, outer half, can't catch up to it.
Two-seamer that was fading away from the left-handed hitter. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Volquez logs his 4th strikeout of the game. Home half of the 6th. Padres 2-0. And welcome back to Petco. Last of the 6th, the Padres with a 2-0 lead, and John Baker 2 for 2 on the afternoon. A couple of singles. Leads it off for San Diego. Hector Noese at 95 pitches, and the bullpen busy for Seattle as Baker hits that high in the air to shallow left center. Ryan, the shortstop, as the ball brought back by a light breeze today, makes the catch. 1 away. Lucas Litke getting ready in the bullpen. We saw him last night. Worked just a third of an inning. Cameron Maben has lined out sharply right back to the box in a marvelous play made by Noesi with the bases loaded, and he also has grounded out.
Well, this is probably going to be Noesi's last inning. He's thrown as many as 102 pitches this year, or 105. I take that back. So he's good for about 98 to 102.
Slider.
Boy, Cameron really pulling off on that slider.
Off the head of the bat by the mound. Charged. And a good play made by Ackley. 2 away. Well, you can follow Fox Sports San Diego's coverage of the Padres with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your Windows Mobile, Android, iPad, iPhone, much more. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and a lot more if you text at bat to 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. 2 outs here in the 6th. Alexi Amarista with the bases loaded doubled over left fielder Wells' head to account for the 2 Padre runs, his 3rd and 4th RBIs of the season. That was the 100th delivery by the 25-year-old Noesi. Three and 0. He's a free swinger, Amarista.
Well, if he gets on with a walk, you might see a pinch hitter. Or is Volquez still going out there?
Only the 4th time Amarista has walked this season.
Well, looks like Edinson is going to swing the shillelagh.
3rd walk allowed by Noesi. Up twice, struck out twice. Volquez. Noesi has 6 strikeouts and 3 walks. Slider.
Edinson kind of chuckling at himself there after that swing of that first pitch slider. I don't know whether Jaso was giving him a hard time, but he got a nice chuckle out of it.
Line drive, low liner on 1 hop. Ryan able to straighten and throw him out. And the Padres gone in the 6th. They lead it 2-0.
Sweetie, Mike Pomeranz with you. Going to tell you what's coming up in the postgame show in a second, but it looks like Alexei Amarista has found a way to find a little pop.
Well, he also found out that the left fielder was playing him in, and thank you for that, because he does have pop to left. He's done it before. Alexei, nice swing on an RBI situation, big knock.
So when we see you in the postgame show, we're going to break that down. Hopefully talk even more offense that we keep our fingers crossed will happen here over the next couple of innings. And we will have what we feel is a hopeful and fitting tribute to Darrell Ackerfelds, the bullpen coach who passed away just today at the age of 50 years old. Dick and Mark, we'll see you in the postgame show.
All right, Mike and Mark will be with you. Top of the 7th. Sean Figgins, Brendan Ryan, and then the pitcher's spot for Seattle. Figgins has grounded out twice. Hitting only 197 at the start. It's a mystery as to what happened to Figgins. It was big money acquisition by the Mariners. The Angels hitting around 300. Having trouble getting to the 200 mark in Seattle. Maybe in the lineup today because of his record against Volquez. He's 4 for 5 in previous meetings with a home run against Edinson. That one clipped foul into the second tier.
Yeah, we got the double barrel going. Luke Gregerson on the right side, Joe Thatcher on the left side for the Padres.
Volquez 2 pitches away from hitting the 100 mark. Litke continues to get loose in the bullpen for Seattle. Now it's Furbush. Litke sitting down, and he's loose as well. Charlie Furbush, he pitched on Friday night. Changeup.
Working underneath it just a little bit. Everything's away to Figgins. This is a big at bat here. He needs to get this first out in this inning. You see that? He's having difficulty. That was a strike. I mean, legitimate strike. And Figgins cannot catch up to the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's another good sign. 94 on that fastball on pitch 101.
Another foul on a curveball. The attendance today, 27,529. That boosts the season total to 1,020,263. So, millionth fan comes through the turnstiles at Petco today.
It's a nice looking seat right there. Good view, good vantage point to the ball diamond.
Ground ball, Kotze. Yeah, he's handled everything there at first base as if that's his lifetime spot.
Well, the dog days are coming back. Dog Days of Summer presented by Petco. Be a part of it. Enjoy Padres game with your dog at Petco Park as they take on the Astros. The date is Tuesday, July 17th. First pitch is 7:05. Come early and enjoy the dog tailgate. Get it? Party is at the park. Don't wait. Applications are due by Monday, June 25th. For more information, visit petco.com/Petco Park.
First pitch to Brendan Ryan, low ball 1. So the dogs are going to have their own tailgate party.
I think so. Yep.
They just have bowls of food and water for them.
That'd be pretty cool. So
is that where do they parade them around the warning? I like that when they let them actually in front of the fans. Maybe a half hour before the game they parade them. I wonder if they're going to do that.
Now that I don't know. Kind of like at the dog track or the horse track where they parade the.
Yeah. You get to see beautiful, animals.
Sounds like a soccer match.
Marines having a good time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Padres. All right, men and women. Swing and a miss. 2-2 to Ryan. Oh, your limo driver's here too, dressed in blue, so you know how to find him.
Oh, I see. He's at the bottom of their seats, and he's got that little megaphone cheering them on.
Whoa, up and in, and the count goes full to Ryan with one out here in the 7th. Jesus Montero's on deck.
See him directing right here? Actually, that's Michael Odino out of the truck. He put on his blue suit to direct the recruits. Nicely done.
Yeah, he can come in disguise, but he doesn't fool us. Line drive center field. Maben charges and makes the catch. Brendan Ryan been hitting in tough luck in this series. Ripped that one, but right to the center fielder, 2 away. Well, the Padres and Astros tomorrow 4:30 for Padres Live. Ross Ollendorf will get the start for San Diego against Wendy Rodriguez of the Astros, 6-5. Hope you'll join us at 4:30. First of a 4-game series. Padres won't get into Houston till after midnight tonight. Jesus Montero will bat for Noesi. He must be wondering, well, what do I have to do? All I did was go 2 for 2 and I get lifted for a pinch hitter. When you consider how few chances other than spring training these hitters in the American League have for Noesi to go 2 for 2. I mean, that's some bragging rights there.
Ooh, good pitch.
Curveball just missed. 1-1 to Montero. Hit the ball hard twice last night. Went 0 for 5. Couple of ground balls. And he's down on the count 1-2.
This is the most as far as pitches thrown by Volquez this year. He's now at 112. Prior to this game, he's thrown 110. He's done that 2 times.
Trying to complete 7 full. He went 6 2/3 in the win at Seattle. That's where he stands now with a 2-0 lead. Bases empty. 2 gone in the Seattle 7th. Curveball hangs inside, and the count goes full with Ichiro on deck.
Edinson Volquez 1 pitch away from putting 7 solid innings in the books. He's only surrendered 4 hits.
Yeah, his pitching pride is at stake here. He wants to log the full 7.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good pitch.
And Montero, the pinch hitter, with a walk with 2 away. And here comes Ichiro.
Caught. You know what? Even I think that's a ball above the belt buckle. Yeah, we talk about it all the time, but not a strike, according to Mark Carlson.
And Bud Black, with that pitch count up at 115, has gone to the mound, and apparently the day's work is done for Edinson Volquez as Joe Thatcher jogs in from the bullpen. Well done for Volquez, and he gets a deserved hand. Fans behind the dugout give him a standing O. Thatcher comes in to relieve Edinson Volquez, and it's time for the Sycuan Casino de Cache, and highlight of the game, and the K's for them from Edinson Volquez on this sunny afternoon. Almost matching identically his effort in Seattle. He went 6 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. Today, 6 2/3. He leaves with no runs, but is responsible for Montero there at first base. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Thatcher trying to get Ichiro. Ground ball off his fist, and Amarista goes the short toss, and the inning's over. 1 pitch by Thatcher, and the Mariners are gone in the 7th. Stretch half at Petco. 2-0 for the home side. Amarista with the bases loaded. That was in the 4th inning. Ground rule double, knocked in 2. And that's the story offensively of the day. 2-0 for San Diego. In the inning, Headley had walked, Denorfia and Baker singled to load the bases. Maben was robbed on a line shot back through the middle. It was stabbed by pitcher Noesi, but Amarista followed with the double for that. 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Noesi departs with a pinch hitter Montero, and Charlie Furbush comes in. He worked 2 innings on Friday night, gave up a single to Alonso, but that was all. He's been very effective, and look at that opposing batting average, 130.
Yeah, he's got a little deception in his delivery, but also he's got the good spotted fastball. You can see the walks, only 5 walks issued in 29 plus innings. Furbush sports a fastball, slider, curve, and a change. But that arm angle really makes it difficult for the hitters sometimes to pick up that baseball out of the hand of the left-hander.
Venable, a left-handed hitter, to lead off with Cabrera, and then another lefty, Katse, to bat 3rd here in the 7th inning. And tomorrow night, again, 4:30 for Padres Live from Houston. Ross Ohlendorf trying to pick up his 2nd win as a Padre against Wandy Rodriguez. 6-5 for the Astros. Carlos Quentin not in the starting lineup today. They're in conversation with Rick Renteria, the bench coach of the Padres.
Looks like he might be getting hot for something. He's got the batting gloves on. He's got the bat in hand. Probably spent some time in the batting cage already this afternoon.
Venable bunts it back on the screen. He has walked, grounded out, and fouled out today.
Got to wear the shades today. In fact, that kid's future is so bright, he's got to wear shades. Sporting the U hat. Yonder Alonso fan.
Watch out. That one off the head of the bat. Furbush and Litke, the two left-handers in the bullpen for Seattle, have combined to hold left-handed hitters to a 145 batting average.
Pretty good combo there, isn't it?
Tough. Wonder if Quinton will be used as a pinch hitter, perhaps for Kotsay, do you think?
He may. He definitely looked like he was in getting game-ready mode.
Ground ball, first baseman Smoke takes care of it himself for the first out. Cabrera, sacrifice, struck out and grounded to third. We'll see if Quinton comes out of the dugout, or will it be Kotsay in the on-deck circle?
Nobody yet.
Cabrera turns it around, hits right-handed. He's batted only 172 from that side, over 300 left-handed. Late May and through June, a month's worth of play. 316 average. Oh, that was an awkward swing there. Almost like his spikes caught. It's Guzman that comes out of the dugout.
Yeah, he commits, wants to hold up, and then all of a sudden gets tangled up.
A ball, 2 strikes. Foul tip. It gets away. No, it wasn't foul tip. So Jaso has to get the put out at first base. That little clip sound was the ball hitting the ground, but not off the bat of Cabrera. So first strikeout for Furbush. Jesus Guzman introduced. He hits for Kotsay. Good day for Kotsay starting at first base. 3 consecutive singles.
Yeah, he has swung the bat extremely well, Mark Kotsay. And I said it earlier, but it's worth noting again. The pinch hitting appearance last night, he squared up a baseball, and it carried over to today. Good for him.
Yeah, lined hard into a double play. Breaking ball just misses. Guzman hitting at .238 with a home run. Soft liner to the second baseman. 1-2-3 inning worked by Charlie Furbush. We go to the 8th. 2-0 San Diego. Padres baseball brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. There's the Grand Dame on Coronado Island, Hotel Del. Beach scene as we get into the warmer days, the months of summer here in San Diego. Miguel Olivo, after Joe Thatcher had gone through all of his warm-ups, then the pinch hitter introduced, and so with the right-hander coming up instead of the left-handed hitting John Jaso, Bud Black goes out and is called upon Luke Gregerson. So cool hand Luke jogs in, and we'll pause for these words.
And this Major League Baseball season on Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfeatures.org/Fox Sports. Dick?
All right. Thank you, Mark Grant. Here we are, top of the 8th inning. Luke Gregerson has replaced Joe Thatcher. Miguel Olivo, the pinch hitter. There are the numbers for Gregerson in his 34th appearance of the year. Olivo, then Casper Wells, and the cleanup hitter Justin Smoke scheduled for Seattle here in the 8th inning. Olivo homered on Friday night. He sees that Luke Gregerson slider right off the bat.
And that is Luke Gregerson's strength. What have we said about Miguel Olivo? Slider, speed, bat, right? But Luke Gregerson, when he is on with that location of the slider, he will do just that. Start it on the outside part of the plate here and then end up here. And he will swing at it.
Did not go, says Hernandez.
Okay, Mr. Enberg. You think he went on this? Oh, absolutely. If he hits it, it's a double.
I'm not sure.
Really? Did he go on that one?
Oh, now you're going to rub it in, are you? You're going to be that kind of guy?
Hey, that's a small hat. Hey. That's pretty funny.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Lined and hooked foul. Out in front of that pitch. A slider.
And Dick, look at the location of this slider. Slider in the zone is a no-no. Elevated for Olivo, and luckily he's way out in front of it, pulling that ball foul.
So Gregerson rubs a wrinkle in a new ball, and here we go, 1-2. Ground ball third. Headley cuts it off and throws out Olivo. 1 away. That's twice in the game that Headley has charged in front of Cabrera to shorten the distance on the throw to first, and it's been imperative that the play be made just that way.
You're right. That's his ball. He's taking charge on that play. I love the old school glasses too on Chase Headley. The old school flip downs.
Did you wear those as a pitcher? I'm only kidding.
You know what? That's funny you say that. Obviously, pitchers wouldn't wear that, but I remember the day when Nolan Ryan wore eye black, and you have to be really good to do that.
Kyle Seager is going to pinch hit for Casper Wells. Seager with 10 home runs, and those 45 RBIs lead the Mariners. Takes a strike. Seager not starting today. He's been held to 0 for 9 with 1 walk in the series. Fastball tails low and away. 1-1. Well, the Mariners go home. They play 3 against Oakland, 4 with the Red Sox, and 4 with Baltimore up at Safeco Field. We said they've had the most road games. This is their 43rd road game. That one hit deep down into the left field corner. Could be trouble, and it is. Fair ball. Seager into second base as DeNorfia digs it out. And the Mariners will bring the tying run to the plate with 1 out in the 8th inning. Pinch hit double for Kyle Seager.
It looked like a fastball. You know, Luke Gregerson throws a lot of sliders down and into the lefties. Looks like he tried to peck away that outside corner, and Seager doing a nice job. He tries to pull that ball. It's a weak ground ball to the right side. You know, 19th double this year for Seager.
Yeah, that's with the 19 doubles and 11.
Everybody over to the right side.
10. Let's see how many home runs here we got for Seager. 10. So he's slugging percentage is up there. Smoke leads the team in home runs with 1 more than Seager, 11. Switch hitter. Another left-hander on deck, Mike Saunders. Shift is on, even with the man at second base, although Headley has to stay closer to the third base bag. With the man there, line drive, Amarista in shallow right, throw back to second, a double play. Well, you can't blame Seager. Normally you don't have the second baseman playing in shallow right field. He thought that was through for a hit. Line drive, double play. Oh my. San Diego, California. Downtown, Petco Park. Park in the park. And we're up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chase Headley, Chris Denorfia, John Baker. Ground ball up the middle. Tough play made by Ackley, and he gets it to first base in time for the out as Headley denied. Changes for the Mariners. Staying in the game is Seager after that pinch double at third. Miguel Olivo replaces Jaso behind the plate, and Figgins moves from third base to left field with Wells out of the game. Denorfia 1 for 3 to extend his batting streak to 11 games, a career high and the high for a Padre this year. He singled sharply and scored in the 4th inning. A 2-run 4th. He and Headley scoring. Headley had walked. They both came in on the double by Amarista. Houston Street, as expected, would pitch the 9th inning. Padres were fortunate in the top of this inning after the double, and then Smoke line drive caught in shallow right by Amarista and turned it into a double play. Sean Kelly getting ready for Seattle. Pull just foul. 1-2 now to Chris Denorfia. Padres have out-hit the Mariners 7-5. The Seattle team has been big with the bats in the last week or so. In fact, the last 4 games they've averaged 8 runs a game, 32 runs, but shut out so far today. Dave Roberts had to whirl out of the way of that low liner. Two balls and 2 strikes. And the Padre Lives, a lot of fascinating information in the 1-hour pregame show today. I enjoyed your debate with Mark Sweeney.
Thank you.
The whole balk move, the pitcher's move, how they try to trick the runner, and what they can do and not do. Outside, and the count full to Denorfia, and the whole sequence of how, with the Padres going on the road, how all that gets done. You know, just those bats and gloves and uniforms and luggage, that just doesn't magically appear in Houston tonight.
It is amazing how much stuff goes on the road with this ball club.
A little flyover here in the 8th inning. Sharp ground ball, 1 hop. Ackley has it and throws out Denorfia. 2 away.
Part of that equipment is Mike Tompkins' video equipment down there. He's got to load up all that stuff on his big boxes and wheel that stuff out, so he has his video equipment on the road.
And it really is, as a member of the traveling team, such a delight that Padres go through security usually right at the ballpark. So you get wanded and checked and everything, and you get on a bus, and the bus takes you to the charter flight, Delta flight, and the flight takes you to Houston. You get off Houston in a bus, you go to the hotel, there's their bag, and into the room you go. It's a little better than when you're flying on your own, going through the normal long lines and security and the hassle that traveling has become today.
And don't forget the peanut butter and jelly sandwich in between.
Yeah. Well, we split it, though. We don't need a whole one.
That's right.
And sweet bread, so not white bread. So John Baker is 2 for 3, a couple of singles today. And just something about peanut butter and jelly that takes you back to your youth.
Absolutely. It's my favorite Sando, PB&J.
Struck him out. So Furbush, 2 good innings on Friday, 2 more here today. 6 up, 6 down. Top of the 9th, it'll be Saunders, Ackley, and a pinch hitter. to that 2-0 shutout lead. And some of the big guns coming up for the Mariners in the top of the 9th inning. And we invite you to stay tuned for Padres Live postgame show, along with the usual assimilation of the activities of the game played itself. In Bud Black's press conference, we'll have a special tribute to Darrell Ackerfelds, who succumbed to that pancreatic cancer at age 50 today. So stay tuned. Appropriately, a tribute to Ack. Houston Street completing his warm-up tosses. Padre closer. He's done a good job. 9 saves and 9 opportunities, allowing opponents to hit only 145. Mike Saunders will lead it off in the top of the 9th. Saunders 1 for 3, a single.
His last outing was against these Mariners, a third of an inning. It was yesterday. I'm sorry, 2 days ago. So right back up on that hill, trying to save it. And hopefully the Padres win the series against the M's.
And record a winning inter-league series as well. It would be 8-7 should they win today, completing games against the American League. Outside to Saunders. The Street will face left-handed hitters. Saunders, Ackley, Figgins if he stays in the game. Switch hitter. '89 on the fastball strike. Ackley on deck.
Houston Street could blindfold himself. He'd probably hit that outside corner with the best of them, huh?
He does have masterful control.
Yes, he does.
Change up, 1-2.
You can see trying to keep the ball away, giving Saunders the left field. That's the way they're shifted.
Popped up, might be a play. Headley over to the dugout area and makes the catch right in front of the Mariners dugout. It wasn't hit very high, so Headley had to scamper there in a hurry.
Houston Street is going to be aggressive against these Seattle Mariner hitters here in the 9th. You do not want to bring that tying run up to the plate. So it all starts with a changeup away. There's the dotted fastball. But the key here, away, away, away. Why? He doesn't want to leave anything on the inner part of the plate. That's a weak foul ball for Chase Headley to squeeze out number 1.
Ackley is 0 for 3, lined out, grounded out, struck out, and he takes a strike. Change up 1-1.
Not a lot of moving parts in the delivery of Houston Street. He keeps it simple, gets a good rhythm going. Always from the windup, the toe tap over the rubber nicely, and then exploding towards home plate. Good fielding position for Houston.
On the corner, there's that pinpointed fastball again. Well, actually a slider, that one. But right where he wanted it, 2-2.
Cannot get hurt out there.
Out of play. The Mariners have been shut out 7 times this year. The Padres have pitched only 3 shutouts. Houston Street trying to complete the work. A team whitewash. 2-2. Strike 3 call. Flat control. Houston Street pulls the Padres within 1 of the victory. Well, our Carl's Jr. star of the game, Edinson Volquez, who Goes 6 2/3, no runs, only 4 hits, walked just 3 and struck out 4. 115 pitches for Volquez. 1 out away from his 4th win of the year, and 2 in a row against the Mariners. Figgins, swing and a miss, strike 1. $27,529 at Petco today on U.S. Army Appreciation Day. Military Sunday. Strike 2. Stays alive. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Combination of Volquez, Thatcher, Gregerson, and now Street. Working on a 5-hit shutout, 1 strike away. Struck him out, and the ball game is over. The Padres win it 2-0. Credit Houston Street with his 10th save of the year. Retires the Mariners in order. A changeup gets Figgins, a couple of strikeouts for Street. The Padres do record a winning record in interleague play, 8-7, and take the series 2 out of 3. Great pitching. Volquez gets the win. Street with a save. 2-0 the score. As we go to Mike.
Oh, guys, coming up today on the post-game show, we're going to talk a lot about what a nice win this was for a team that really needed a series victory, and they were able to do that against Seattle today. Also, a tribute to Darryl Ackerfeld, a 50-year-old coach who succumbed to pancreatic cancer just today at age 50. We'll see you in the post-game show.